Hello student, today I am going to discuss Java applet. In the previous lecture, I talked about file input output, where I discuss about buffer reader, buffer writer and print writer. We had seen that whenever we are going to use the file writer and file reader, we had some disadvantage. So we move for buffer reader and buffer writer. And we also find that this is not a better solution to read the content of a file or to write a character to a file. It's not a better option. So we go for print writer. But in this lecture, I am going to discuss about the new topic. In so many examples we have seen in our Java program, where we mainly discuss about the static content, that you have written a program and you have used the public static void main method, and within main method you are just trying to access the instance variable method, and you write the program and you execute it and it is run well. It's a one kind of application. But here applet is a special type of program that embedded in the web page to generate the dynamic content. So basically one thing we have to keep that in mind. So generating dynamic content, we go for applet, and it works at client side, right? And so if it is works in client side, so response time is very less. And one of the important thing in every time, so far we know that the basic package of Java programming is java.lang.star. But here we know that we need to know that about the applet, where the basic package we have to import java.aw.applet. So what are the important things we have to keep that in mind? First is it is generating dynamic content, right? So dynamic content. And the second point is work at client side. Client side. And the third point is response time is very low. Response time is fast. And we have to import java.aw.applet.star. So these are the 5 points we have to remember. We can say another way that applet is a Java program, or Java program that run in a web browser. Applet is a Java class that extends the java.applet.applet class. I will discuss about the hierarchy of applet class in a minute. So one of the important thing is there is no main method. So no main method. In normal program we have seen that we have to write whatever the code we have to write within the public static void main, so that we can access the instance variable and instance method through the object. Or if the variable is static or method is static, we directly access this variable and method also. But here there is no concept of main method. And applet are designed to be embedded within HTML page. So this is the new thing we have not seen so far in our any Java program. And one of the important thing we have to keep that in mind, that is, if I want to run an applet, so we need a Java plugin, or you can say that is JVM is required to view an applet. Later we will discuss about that, how do I compile a Java applet program, how do I run the program, and when the plugin is required, and if I use the applet viewer tool, so how can I run the applet program. I will discuss in later in details. Right now I am just talking about the basic about the applet. And one of the important thing in regarding to applet is strictly security rules that enforced by the web browser. So we have if I say that what is the formal definition of Java applet, we can say that applet is a special type of program, Java program, that embedded in the web page to generate the dynamic content. So first point is very, very important, to generating the dynamic content. And second point is also important, works at client side. These 2 points is important in formal definition. So what are the advantage of applet? It works at client side, so response time is very less. It is very secure. I have just mentioned it is very secure, and it can be executed by the browser under many platforms, including Linux, Windows, Mac, OS, whatever it is. Wherever the Java plugin is present, we can run the applet program, and it's a small program actually. But we have some drawback also. So plugin is required at client browser to execute that. That is the only one drawback, we can say that. Now come to the hierarchy where the Java class, applet class is present. We already know that object is a superclass of all the Java classes, right? So from this, if I write the hierarchy, so first will be object class, right? Object class, and make a heading. So object is a superclass, and which class is extend this superclass? Component class, right? So next is component, and the subclass of component class is container. Container class, and container class extend panel class. So panel is a subclass of container class, and superclass of applet is panel. And then we have a JApplet also. So here we are talking about the applet class. In the hierarchy, applet is present. So if I want to implement any applet class, please keep that in mind, that every applet class must be extend an applet class. An applet class that extend java.applet.applet class. So whatever program I am going to write, so that is my user defined applet class must be extend the applet class, so that I can get the life cycle of this applet class, right? So the next point is life cycle of a applet. So this is a very, very important. So you can say what are the state are available in our applet life cycle. So mainly life cycle of Java applet. Okay, so we have a 5 method. I am just writing the name of the method. First is, we have a method is called initialization. The first step is called initialize. First step of initialization. So in initialization, I will call a method that is called public void init. Public void init. So I am writing the method name also for each of the step methods. Public void init method. This method is very, very important because this is the first method we have to call. And second is, I'm just talking about start. And the name of the method is public void start. And third method is paint. And the method name is public void paint. And paint method, we have to pass an argument that is called graphics class. So GRA graphics Z. Don't worry, I will discuss each of the method in details. Right now I am just mentioning what are the lifecycle state are associated with the method. So first state is initialization, second state is start, and third state is paint. Okay, so how it is work actually step by step. So next one is stop, and the last one is stop is method called public void stop. And the last one is destroy. Public void destroy. So here, look at this. So applet life cycle consists of 5 steps. So first state is called initialization, second state is called start, and the third one is paint, and fourth one is stop, and fifth one is destroy. And here all of the method corresponding to each of the state. So first state is called initialization. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 state. Out of 5 state, these 2 and these 2, that means total 5 method are belongs to java.aw.star. java.aw stands for abstract window toolkit .applet.star, right? And this one, only one, is belongs to component class. So you can write like this: java.aw.component.star. So we have seen that out of 5 methods, 4th method belongs to applet class, and one applet.star package, and one method it belongs to component package, right? So we can write java.aw.component.star. This is only one, and in step of initialization, so first I have discussed about the init method. So first step is init method. is the first method to call. So first it will call init method. So init method, this is where you should write the initialize the variable, and this method is used to initialize the applet, and it is called or invoked only one time during the runtime of an applet, or you can say that when executed or run the applet program. So this method is called only one times, and it is used to initialize the variable, and whatever you want to initialize during the applet initialization you can write within this init method. Later I will discuss how to write an applet program in next lecture, then it will be more clear to you how to use the init method. And right now you have to know that what does mean the init method, and the return type of this method is public. All the methods are public. If I write applet class, that class must be a public class. Okay, and all the method here is return type is void. Okay, so init method is called only one times, and the next method is called start. So start method is called after init method, and it is called to restart an applet after it has been stopped. So start means start executing. And note that init method is called one times when the first time is applet is loaded, whereas start method is called each time an applet, the HTML document is displayed on the screen. So a user, for example, if a user leaves the web page and come back, the applet resume execution at start. So this method is executed only one times, and this method is executed more than one times. So we can say that whenever a user want to maximize his browser, so every time the start method is called. And the next method is pen method, and pen method is each time AW2 base, AWT base. Let me write this term AWT. Okay, abstract window toolkits base applet output must be read on. So what does actually mean that pen method? If I want to write something in my computer screen, so far in our Java program, earlier Java program, conventional Java program, we have seen that if I want to print something, we use the system.out.println to print some value or some variable value, or you can say some string in our console. But here if I want to print something, then in our we use the print method, and within this print method we pass a object, graphics object, that is G. So you can take, so let me think about the situation that window which is applet is running may be overwritten by another window and then uncover, or applet window may be minimized and then restart. So pen is also called when the applet begin execution. Whatever the cause, whenever the applet must be redrawn, the output print is called. So this is called only one time, this is called more than one time, and we can say that the print method is used to execute, or you can say display output in our program. So in my print method we have a parameter, that is graphics parameter. This parameter will contain the graphics content which describe the graphic environment in which the applet is running. The context used whatever the output is required. This is only method among the all method mentioned above which is parameterized. Look at this, we have a init method but no argument, we have a start method, no argument, stop method, no argument, destroy method, no argument, but this is the only one method, it has a one argument, that is a parameter type of graphics type. So whatever I want to get output as a scale, so that print method is called every time. And here Z is a object reference of graphics class. So graphics is a class and G is a object referent of graphics class. Okay. So this tree method is used to start the applet. First we have to initialize, so that means first we have to call the init method, and that method is called only one time. And then we have to call the start method to start the execution of applet. And the third one is to print something in our computer screen, so we use the print method. Right? Later I will discuss about the some method which is regarding to graphic class, so that we can get what kind of output in our computer screen. So this three method is used for initialization, and we have two other method. One of the method is stop, another method is destroy. These two method is basically used to stop the application or our applet application, or you can say applet program. So whenever a browser leaves the HTML document containing the applet, or it goes to another page, for example, when the stop is called, the applet probably running, you should use to stop the suspend thread that does not need to run the applet is not visible. So you can restart when the start is called, and if the user return to the page. So stop means whenever you want to stop the running application or applet in our browser, so we definitely call it stop. Or you can say the stop method is called when we minimize the browser. So whenever we maximize the browser, then again this start method is called. And if I minimize the browser, that means stop method is called. That is the simple example you have to remember. This is the key point, that whenever an application running in web browser, if you minimize this web browser, so that means stop method is called. If we maximize this web browser, that means start method is called. And the last one, the destroy method, is called when the environment determines that the applet need to be removed completely from the memory. So at this point you should free up the resource. The applet may be using the stop method always before to call the destroy method. So this method is called, and before that we have to call the stop method. So these two methods are used to stop the application of applet, and this three method is used to start the application of applet or continue the applet application. So this is all about this life cycle. From the life cycle we have seen that we have 5 states of a applet. First step is called initialization. Second state is called start the application or start the applet. Third is print, and fourth is stop, and fifth one destroy. So here life cycle means I want to say that we have a 5 method in our applet life cycle, and how to call each of the method one by one. I cannot say that the stop method will be called first. I cannot say that destroy method will be called first. Here I want to mean that which method is called first, then second, then third, then fourth. In this way I have just ordered this step of this applet working principle. So first you have to know that initialization, what kind of code we can write in our initialize or init method, what kind of code we can write in our start method, what kind of code we can write in my print method, and why when we use the stop method and destroy method. That is all about this applet life cycle. So let me conclude this lecture, here we just know what is applet and what is the applet hierarchy, or we can say the applet class is where is in my hierarchy. So we know that applet, every class, superclass is the object class, that class extend the component class extend the container class extend the child class, or we can, sorry, in this way you can say that panel is a JApplet is a subclass of applet class, or applet class is a subclass of panel class, and panel class is a, or you can see this picture, you can get the clear idea. So here I am just discussing about the applet. So the main purpose of the applet is to generate the dynamic content, and this content will be executed at the client side if the browser is plugin browser, Java plugin browser. And later I will discuss about that, how in my next lecture I will discuss about the how many way we can run the applet, how many way we can write the applet code in my program. So I will discuss in my next lecture. So right now, what is applet, what are the state are available in applet, and what are the important method in my applet life cycle. So we have a init method, we have a start method, we have a paint method, and we have a stop method, destroy method, and which method we know that first four method except the paint method, it belongs to container class, and all the four method are belongs to applet class, right? And one of the important thing is, every time if I want to user define applet class, we have to keep that mind that every class should extend the applet class, right? So important point is there is no main method, and the security is very secure in case of applet program, because strict security rules are enforced by the web browser. And in my next lecture I will discuss about how to run a applet program, how many way we can create a applet program, and how many way we can run our applet program with a simple example. Then I will discuss also about the event handling in applet class, so you can get the practical experience how to implement the applet class. I will discuss in my next lecture. Thank you.